Hi, this is Sally Morgan, physical therapist, craniosacral therapist, and Tellington Teach-Touch practitioner for animals and people. That's Tristan, he's a Corgi, and this is an episode of Conversations with a Corgi. And we're at the Equus Film Festival live in New York City, and we're here with Heather Wallace, who is from New Jersey, and she does a lot of holistic things with pets. So tell us what you do, Heather.
I'm an equine and canine sports massage therapist and aromatherapist for bridal and bone wellness.
And where are you located?
We're located in Monmouth County, New Jersey, primarily Red Bank, but all throughout central New Jersey we travel.
And what kind of dogs and horses do you have?
I have 2 rescue dogs. They're both about 80 pounds, and
some big ones.
There's some big dogs, so they get a lot of massage and they're early arthritis treatments, so that's good. And I don't own my own horse, but I ride an ex-racer named Delight, who's 6 years old and sassy as anything.
Is he delightful?
Many days, but not always.
What kind of riding do you do?
I would call it hunter, but I try not to jump as much as I can. It's usually just basic equitation and pleasure.
That sounds great. How long have you been riding?
I've been riding 8 years now since I came back to riding, but I grew up riding as well. So altogether, probably about 20 years.
Oh, that's awesome. So what brings you to the Equus Film Festival this year?
Well, thanks for asking. I have a blog called Bridle and Bone, and I wrote my first book called The Equestrian Handbook of Excuses.
Which is really cute and funny. She'll tell you about it.
Thank you. So The Equestrian Handbook of Excuses is here, and I was invited as a member literary selection for the Equus Film Festival this year, and I'm very excited about it.
Tell us a little more about your book.
So the book is based on all the reasons we tell ourselves, ridiculous and otherwise, of why we can't ride that day, whether they're true or not. And of course, I don't use these because I don't own my own horse, so I always want to ride.
That's your excuse. I don't have a horse to ride.
So I try to ride as much as possible. But it's amazing how many excuses we can come up with that are just absurd and quite funny.
You know, I had a client once who would ride her horse a little bit around the ring and then say that he was feeling lame and she'd get off. And it turned out, I found out that she had a devastating, tragic accident with a horse, and she was absolutely terrified to ride. And she was in therapy and doing a lot of work, and we ended up getting her a small, safe horse to ride to rebuild her confidence, which took years. But it was amazing how her horse had learned how many steps he could go before she felt nervous, and then he would start limping. And he was a very expensive imported horse, and then she would put him back. So sometimes those excuses are really legitimate, but certainly we have lots of other excuses with our riding about why we're not doing well in our lessons, and usually it comes back to our own bodies and our lack of comfort in our own bodies.
That's exactly it. I write a series called Confessions of a Timid Rider because coming back to riding as an adult is a really different story. I have 3 kids. I don't want to get injured. I weigh more than I did when I was a teenager, and so I'm much more confident now. But you know, I think we're so hard on ourselves as equestrians that we have a lot of self-doubt that we deal with on a daily basis, and it's a struggle to be motivated.
Well, and the horses really inspire us and help us find our confidence in so many ways. They're really wonderful animals.
And really, they're empathetic, too, and so sensitive. And I think, you know, like I said, this thoroughbred that I ride, we had a bad fall a couple months ago, completely my fault. Not his fault at all, and you know, but I broke my ribs and I had to take a couple of months off, and yesterday I cantered him again for the first time since our accident, and I felt like $1 million.
And sometimes too, when we're in a healing profession, our injuries teach us so much that you're kind of grateful, even when you know, thank God you broke your ribs and not something really vital. But the recovery from that can be really trying. So good for you.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I was riding different horses, trying to get my confidence back. I was riding him at the walk trot and just doing a lot of exercises. So it was really a breakthrough, and I feel like we have to kind of give ourselves that break. But I still rode. You know, I didn't make an excuse not to ride. I still rode and I pushed through, and I think that helps.
Yeah, it really helps to have a safe horse. I had an accident with one of my really good horses, and the other one felt safer, and I thank God for him. He really helped me get back on the other one. So it was a big experience.
Yeah, I mean, there's those confidence builders out there, and they're priceless. They give us so much.
Well, thanks for joining me for Conversations with a Corgi. We're going to go out and see what's going on around here. There's some movies showing, and there's going to be a big party tonight. We can't wait for that. Tristan brought his tie, but not his hat for the party tonight. You guys have all seen him wearing his evening wear.
He looks dapper.
He's a dapper Corgi. So thanks for joining us for Conversations with a Corgi, and we'll try to be live tomorrow and the next day. And thanks to Kendra Wallace for taking the time to chat with us. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.